Hello, hello. Hi, friends. I'm going to be live here today, both on YouTube and on TikTok. And I'm going to be answering a lot of questions. Since the last two videos, so many people asked me so many good questions that I thought it's time for me to come live and answer those questions. So while you're joining, maybe you can share where you're from. How are you? I am well, thank you. And some of this topic's gonna be confronting to you, my friends. So please, rather than battling them, try to accept them. But if it's too much, it's okay. You can just leave because I know that feminine and masculine dynamic conversation is very confrontational right now, very uncomfortable. So again, I invite you to just be with it and being open to learn something new. So I know that most of you are working right now, but since I read between 1 and 2 p.m., people are on the lunch, maybe you will join and we'll have this amazing dialogue and I'll be answering your questions. But before I do that, I want to answer some of the really important questions that I see so many women are asking me. So let's begin. So the question that I asked, somebody asked me probably several times, and several people want to know is how to raise a masculine man if you're single. So you've gone through divorce, or maybe you were not even married, and now you have boys, or maybe just one son. And if you don't have any relationship with your ex, it's very difficult. And so most of you, hello, friends, most of you are thinking, ladies, that you can actually raise a masculine man. And here I have to be honest that it is impossible for a woman alone to raise a masculine man who will grow up to be provider, protector, and leader. Because these are the three qualities that women, when we're with a man and he's a leader, provider, and protector, we feel safe. We can let go of our guard. We can stop being controlling. We can stop being anxious. And we can start trusting our man and truly start falling in love. And so if you don't have X who is in the picture, you have to get the best thing you can do is to get involved. Either your brother, either your grandfather, either uncle, or somebody who is a provider and protector and masculine. Now, if you don't have any relative in town, because you have to be exposing your kids to the masculine provider type of a man, at least 2, 3 times a week, not only on the weekends, because some of you think, well, they'll see a father on the weekends and that's enough. No, it's not enough at all, because on a daily basis, preferably, they see a man figure who shows to kids how to pay, how to provide, how to protect, how to fix around the house. And that's why it's very critical for boys to see what is it to be a man like. And women, when we go to work, and sometimes single moms go to 2 jobs and they come exhausted, what they do, they're like, okay, here's a laptop, here's computer, watch, I'm gonna cook and clean. And kids are learning that I am not loved. A mom doesn't have any love because a man, a boy, and a son gets love from mom through her feminine energy. And that's why if you're critical, if you're judgmental, if you're constantly putting him down, telling him, don't be like your father, like he's a loser, or you're talking on the phone with your girlfriends and you're complaining about your ex, a boy all listens to that and he learns that you don't love X, his father. And if you don't love his ex, he also take it that you don't love part of him because your son is part of the ex. And so that's why, ladies, try to find somebody who can be a father figure for your son. But ideally, if you can start Early morning, waking up, doing the morning meditation or affirmation at least for 10 minutes before you go to bed at night and 10 minutes in the morning when you wake up, you're going to start connecting to your feminine energy so you can attract a masculine man. And don't sleep with this guy on the first, second, or third months until you get into exclusive relationship. And you have to find out, will he be a father figure to your kids? And most men who are feminine will say, why do I need somebody's kids? These are feminine men. These are insecure men. You shouldn't be even dating them. A true masculine man who is in love with you gonna accept your children. But you have to get, if you're needy, if you're desperate, oh, anybody just take me. No, you will not attract a true provider and protector. And therefore, you gotta work on yourself, especially you, to get to this feminine energy. All right, Amar, I will see how the conversation will go with you. But if you're rude, I will stop you. All right, let's see. Amar is trying to join with me. We'll see how that goes. It didn't work for some reason. But somebody tried a man to talk to me. But a lot of men are now very confronted by the conversation I'm having. So please just be with it, because I know in our society right now, everything is backwards. Men don't want to take a role of a true leader, a provider, and protector. And of course, ladies, if you think that you can be rude, righteous, controlling, dominating, going to work, and also attract, provider, and protector, that's not going to happen. It's impossible. You have to choose here. Either you want to be traditional, family oriented, feminine woman, and then you attract a provider and protector. But you cannot have both. Go to work, be righteous, and then think that, yes, I'm going to attract a provider protector who will take care of me and my family. That will not work. Also, let me answer another question. When men can be masculine, a woman will be feminine. No, ladies. This is the biggest mistake. You're thinking, let all men become masculine out there, and then I will be feminine. No, this is, you are not trusting the balance in the universe. Right now, by the way, this equality and feminism, in a way, men became so lazy. They're thinking, why do I need to become a provider and protector? She can work, she can cook, I can just come, have sex with her, and leave. It's, in a way, very now convenient for them. So men would not want to shift to masculinity unless you all decide that this is time for me to become feminine. And feminine also means to trust your man, to provide and protect. And if you think, well, but then he will cheat, because some of you were telling me, Rhianna, Beyonce, Janet Jackson, Kardashians, even they had the makeup and sexy figures and they got cheated. Yes, but they're masculine women, ladies. A man will feel always depleted and hungry for feminine woman. And you're giving me examples of all masculine men, all masculine women. And of course, sooner or later, men will cheat on them, because a man wants to come home and feel appreciated, welcomed, loved. And also, man loves to feel admiration. And if you're not admiring them, and do you think Rihanna, Janet Jackson, Beyonce, and Kardashian will give admiration, will give love and their femininity to their husbands or boyfriends? Not at all. And so don't give me this example. Look at the celebrities they got cheated on. It's not just about the sexiness and the beauty, which is important for you to stay pretty. But most importantly, you are a muse if you are feminine to your man. And that's the only way your man would want to go work, provide, and protect. And another lady asked me, well, in Holland, we don't live together. A man lives in his place, a woman lives in his place, and that's the way I'm dating. So we will never go through breakup and divorce. And this is how I'm teaching him how to know how to act. My friends, this is another level of degradation. This is how Scandinavian countries are like this now. In Sweden, in Norway, in Finland, and now I heard also in Holland. Don't use this as a good example. A good example of a relationship or marriage or really a family, when a woman stays home, takes care of her kids, herself, a man, and a man goes, brings a bacon home. And this is how it's been for 1,000 years. And if you learn how to be feminine, how to trust God and do the spiritual practices, you will not be scared that your man gonna cheat or leave. And even if he cheats and leaves, you will figure it out because the true protection comes from above. And so that's why, ladies, you have a lot of fears and you think that I will protect myself if I go to work. No, if you go to work and you work full time, you are deteriorating in all levels. And I understand if you're single mom, you have to do it. But you still can do at least 10-15 minutes of morning affirmations, prayer, or meditation. So you can slowly but surely start to shift to feminine energy. So with that said, I have many more questions here. I've all written them down, but for now, I want to answer some of your questions and then go back to really confronting questions here. So let me just start here and see what you guys have. Uh, Avocado chips at your service, adorable. What do I do if my husband is very rude and mean to me? Very good question. Uh, First of all, friends, let me share this. I got, and I will come back to you because I'm going to tie it up with a woman who called me 2 days ago on a TikTok. Well, she left me a 3-minute video. That's what I mean by call, saying that she has 4 kids, two from first marriage, no, three from first marriage, fourth from a second relationship. And she's so exhausted working 2 jobs and taking care of 4 kids. And she's saying, how, Alisa, I can be feminine, how I can work part-time. Well, first of all, that video where I was saying for you to be feminine, work part-time is not for single mom. And she's all a victim, she's all stressed and exhausted. But ladies, you have to get that it's your responsibility to date a man for a good 6 months to a year before having sex with him to understand, is he greedy? Is he mean? Is he rude? Is he drug addict? Is he an alcoholic? All of these things you need to discover in a dating process. And if you see he is on the heroin, or he is abusive, or he is mean, why would you continue dating him and then getting married and then saying, what do I do if he is mean? Now, if he is a husband, you got to do everything to accept his personality. And then there's a chance that he's going to start mirroring you and taking responsibility that he's mean to you. But if you're dating, run. If a man is physically abusive and drug addict, run. You are not tied up to him. And so the biggest mistake again, don't rush into having sex, because for us women, when we have sex, we think it's a relationship. And to us subconsciously, it feels like a marriage. And why would you want to have sex with someone who is mean, who is rude, who is abusive? It doesn't make any sense. And that's why, again, ladies, what you're refusing to take responsibility for and becoming victims is that you are not properly dating. And nobody's teaching how to date. You see everybody's married or in a relationship, you're like, oh, I met a cute guy, I'm gonna sleep with him too, like everybody. And that's the biggest mistake. Don't rush having sex. And this goes to men as well. And some look at Johnny Depp. He was stuck for so many years with borderline personality disorder wife because he didn't know. She was just a pretty sexy lady. And that's why we need to get to know someone before jumping in bed with strangers. And so now he is rude, he is mean. What you gotta do is really wake up and start surrendering to higher power to give you patience and love to accept him. The reason why he is mean, the reason why he is rude, because subconsciously 99% that you're reminding him of his mom or dad. Somebody in the family was rude and mean, and to him it's a comfort zone to treat a partner. He grew up in this environment. And so divorce To you, it's also comfort zone why you attracted this man. And that's why until you heal and become feminine, even if you divorce him, there's no guarantee that you're gonna meet someone better. And that's why watch my spiritual videos on YouTube. Go under Alisa Abdullaeva. I have playlist for relationship, playlist for spirituality, and there you're gonna start learning how to do affirmations, how to do meditation, and slowly you're gonna start becoming patient, and you'll be able to surrender to God for protection, and you'll know how to educate him. He's mean and he's rude, you will walk away. You're not gonna go into confrontation, and you're not gonna shut down. You're gently gonna walk away, because we are responsible for teaching our partners how to behave with us. Because men, for the most part, they're like, providers and protectors. All of the relationships things and influences, it's on us women. They're not good with that. That's why we are responsible for relationship and marriage. And now you have to learn how. And that's why I'm guiding you. Go to my YouTube channel and watch the long lectures and programs, not the 3 minutes videos, if that makes sense. And let me quickly read what I see. Oh, I see. Texas, Los Angeles, India. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing all the knowledge with us. Learned a lot. All right, let's see if any questions. You're welcome, my friends. I am at MGTOW Monk, and I have to say, you're probably the first woman that touches on the spiritual aspects of what makes a great wife and influence. You're welcome, Tom. And I appreciate you friends being here from so many different countries. So I hope I answered this question. Let's continue moving on. Large, black, vainly, oh my God, Purple, Johnson, Mandigo. Oh my God, friends, come on. Either you ask questions, or, or leave the channel, because I don't know what your lingo is here. What if your husband didn't have a dad growing up? How does that affect them as dad? It affects them greatly. That, like what I started the conversation with. If a boy grew up without a father, he doesn't have a foundation to stand on. How can he be a now provider and protector when he didn't have an example? And that's why, ladies, you gotta date a man to see where is he coming from. And while you're dating him, you can start seeing how much is he willing to change, because a man is willing to change before you give him a cherry. Once you give a cherry, he thinks, well, that's good enough. I took her to a restaurant, I bought her a drink, I drove her to her girlfriend's house once, and that's it. That's good enough for her. Now you slept with him, that's all he will be doing for the rest of your life, because that's enough for you. And most women think, well, now he got me, he slept with me, and now he will just gonna buy me flowers, buy me diamonds, pay, protect, provide, and lead me in order to stay with me. Not at all. I'm sorry I shifted from that conversation. The reason why I'm talking about it is that we as a ladies have to check what is his background. Is he willing to have children? Is he willing to get married? Is he willing to provide and protect? All of those things you need to find out while you're dating before you have sex. You having sex when you get a ring on, that's the earliest. Ideal when you get married, not earlier than that. It's hard for men, but if he's willing to invest time, energy, and money in you, that means he's really in love with you. And then while he's in love with you, you can ask, well, I really like this. I like when a man opens the door. Yes, that's what I've been teaching my husband while I was dating him. He didn't know that I like when we go into restaurant for him to open the door for me in the car. I taught all of that, and I'm advising you, the more you're gonna teach your man while you're dating, the better husband he will be, the better father he gonna be. And so yes, for a man, it's very hard to become a father figure if he didn't have a father, or at least a grandfather or an uncle or a brother figure that was teaching him and showing him. Because a woman, if you want your man to be masculine, you gotta be also feminine. And a father figure or uncle or brother or grandfather can teach him how to be a man, but you can never be both. If you're tough, If you're critical, judgmental, trying to teach him how to be tough, he will resent you, and resent his future wife and girlfriends. So that's how you're actually breaking a man's spirit. So I hope that helps. 98, give him his favorite food, tell him how you feel about the rudeness. Friends, can you please don't give advice, because then you're taking the time and energy, because I have only 1 hour. And here, if you're giving examples or too long of a stories, or you give your advices, you're really taking time from while we're really here. So thank you. I appreciate that. What does a feminine woman do during the day and week? That's a really good question. Um, Let me use me as an example, even though right now I am using a masculine energy to be with you, because I have to think, I gotta analyze, I gotta answer, and I gotta figure out how to give as most knowledge to you, my friends. But throughout the day, I wake up at 6 o'clock, I do my meditation and my prayer until 7, and after 7 o'clock, I cook breakfast for husband and our son. Then I drive our son to school. Husband goes to work. As soon as I come home, I go either running or walking around the subdivision for at least 45 minutes, because we need to get the sun energy. Sun energy gives us, both men and women, confidence and happiness. Then I come home, I organize. I have dog and a cat also. Gotta take care of them, and a fish in the pond. Then I cook. Then again, I go and pick up our son. I do a little bit of homework with him if he needs help. I teach him also Russian, how to read and write. Then hubby comes home. I cook. I mean, either the food is ready or I cook. We eat dinner. And then we spend quality time together. Either we go to the park, or we stay home doing something together, like playing a Legos or whatever our son wants. Then I put him to sleep, and then my meditation, evening meditation, continues. Sometimes we also walk around subdivision in the evening if it's not raining. So that kind of gives you the idea what feminine woman does. And when I have time, I obviously answer your questions on TikTok and YouTube as a contribution, and Instagram. And once a week, I go 1 hour live. So a feminine woman, even right now, if I'm working, I'm giving you as a contribution, I'm working, but I'm making zero income. But everything that I'm giving as a contribution, guess what? Higher power, God Himself, is blessing our family. So my husband will make money and can protect and provide for us. The more I meditate, the more I pray, the more our family continues to have the happiness, harmony, love, and balance at home, because a woman is responsible for giving the happiness, harmony, love, and peace. This is not a man's job. And a lot of women think that it's a man's job. A man's job for 5, 10 minutes a day, sometimes more, to come to your wife and say, "Oh, honey, you're so sexy. I love you." Give TLC to a wife. Then the wife feels like, "Oh, my husband loves me," right? Some women needs more, some women need less, but for the most part, all of the energy of happiness comes from woman. And if a woman works, she cannot generate this, because at 8 hours a week, at a day at work, she gave all of her happiness, all of her love, all of the little thing that she had, because she's already masculine and exhausted and overworked. She gave it all to work, and she comes depleted. She turns to either alcohol or food, gains weight, and she is exhausted, dreaming when her husband will change, or when she will meet a husband or a boyfriend. But in the reality, we all gotta invest into ourselves. Woman needs to work on being more and more feminine. And if she's masculine, fully transition into being a feminine. And a husband or a man has to work on becoming more and more masculine. And that means providing, protecting, and leading a family. Leading where the family goes as a unit, while a woman preserving, bringing the happiness and harmony. This is a really great question, my friends. Thank you for that. All right. Um, Is it a voluntarily decision to accept another man's kid, not masculinity? Mm, It's, um, let me explain that. A man who truly loves a woman accepts her with one, two, or three children. It's a highest form of masculinity because a masculine man is also a generous man. When I shared the video a few days ago, when a woman asks for money, a man can give even more. A lot of feminine men is like, no, I'm not an ATM machine. Because a feminine man are not conquering themselves. They don't have a goals how to provide and protect and become a leader. And to them, it's like, what? I'm a kid myself. I don't know how to make money, and now I have to protect somebody else. I don't want it. They don't. My feminine men are not providers. They're not masculine. They're not men themselves. They're kids. Kids who are stuck in their past childhood and they're traumatized. And that's why they're very greedy. They're poor and they cannot make money. And it's like a car with a broken engine that been through total. You know, there's total in the car accident. And now, in order to really fix this car, you got to put a new engine. And some women attracting this man and really working hard is like, okay, let me buy a new engine and put it. But oh my God, my friends, it's such a hard work that you're taking on. It's better to date 30 men to figure out which one is truly masculine and become feminine so you can even attract him. But working and living with a man who's feminine and not willing to work, or working but asking you for 50%, it's exhausting. And so if a man takes on another man child, it's a very masculine choice. It's a very masculine action, but only true humble, true masculine man who is already succeeded in life can take that on. Because the other day I was talking to my husband, I said, honey, I want more kids, but I don't think that I am at the age where I can go through, I have a serious back problem, that I can go through pregnancy again. Would you be willing for us to go to Africa so we can adopt a child? Because I love Africa and I love kids there. And he said, maybe not this year or next year, but I think it's a good idea. At some point, let's do that. But maybe he will be 5 or 6 years old. And I said, great. And for a man to agree to that, he has to be already so, has such a strong core to take on adopting another child from another country. And so that's why, my friends, it's your duty as a man to become so powerful inside that a woman will feel that she can lean on you, that she can come and talk to you heart to heart on soul level and not battling you because she feels truly protected with you. So please think about it. And it's a great question. Um, Lady, you're on the fire with truth. Well, thank you for a compliment. I appreciate that. All right, so let's see more questions. My husband takes care of me and I love it. I enjoy my life. Yes. When a husband takes care of a woman feel truly happy. She truly feel blessed. And not many people right now in our DNA have this have this beauty, have this bliss in their life. Can you do this with your boyfriend? Um, you see, my friends, until you are all right, let me answer this question the way it will be more clear. You can shift and help a man to become masculine if he's a boyfriend, but only before you slept with him. After you slept with him, it's practically impossible to work with him because he already feels like, I am good enough. She already slept with me. But again, if you feel that he is the one and you want to work on the relationship, start your spiritual practices. Of course, you're going to be shifting as you are shifting. Because mainly, what you both need to understand, men and women, we don't want to change our partners. We want to focus on ourselves. If you are a woman and becoming feminine, by design, your man will become masculine. And if he doesn't like to be masculine, he will run away. and which is a great blessing. That means you can actually attract a masculine man. And if you are a man, and if you don't like that you're attracting only masculine women, that means you are a feminine man. Work on yourself, become masculine, and you're gonna start attracting a feminine women. You are a woman, Tate. I keep hearing that, but I don't know who this Tate guy is. And okay, I was raised by my dad and had a brother. I don't even know where to start. I don't know if you actually a woman. I guess you're a woman, but I need your question. Don't have to only be a housewife. Listen, my friends, even though I worked for 19 and a half years and last year I stopped working, do you think I'm just a housewife? Really? When I have time, I also work on two books. When I have time, I am with you on Instagram and on the YouTube. So no, and I lead feminine programs and I lead spiritual programs every other week and every 4 months. Do I charge? No, I ask for donation that goes actually to Ukraine right now because of the war. But all I'm trying to say, I have plenty things on my hands. I am not bored being a housewife. I have a lot of projects, but all of these projects are contribution to society because our society right now, I'm sorry to say that, but it's very degraded, honestly. I feel as a woman more happier in the third world countries where traditions are still there. In Morocco, in Egypt, in India, in Mexico, not in Cancun areas, but in the third world countries where there's a still role, a woman is feminine and she takes care of kids and she takes care of the house, and a man who's a truly provider and protectors. I don't feel like that here. Here are all of this foundation been washed off. And in the modern society, that's where divorce rate is the highest. And let's be honest, relationship between men and women, and especially in the families, are not happy because people lost the foundation. What is man's duty and what is a woman's duty? So I hope that clears it. My wife takes care of my son and the house. I fight all the wars needed outside the home. Works perfectly. Yes, what a wonderful man who really, we have a true masculine man here right now on TikTok. Mark Pearl 297. Yes, 1000% flowers and all ladies give him heart. What a true provider and protector. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me. Somebody's asking me a question on YouTube. One second, my friends. I'm 27, almost 28. Should I wait until 30 to start committed relationship? Most women seem not serious in my age group or just want to use my resources. Well, first of all, if you think that women wanted to use your resources, what we think, that's what we become. And women who think all men are cheaters, that's what you're going to attract. We cannot look at opposite sex as if they're the enemy. If you think they are the enemy, they're the enemy they are. If you think men are all liars, cheaters, and bastards, I'm sorry to be honest, that's what you're gonna attract. If you think all women are gold diggers, you're gonna attract gold diggers. And therefore, the question is not about age. The question is if you can afford to have a girlfriend, because getting married, it's not cheap. It's very expensive. And dating is for you to see, can you actually afford a woman? Because for my husband to work and provide for me and our son, wow, it's very expensive. And I acknowledge him every day for us to living this happy life. And he comes home and he's like, I'm so happy doing it. It's just, wow, life is expensive. But I appreciate him and I acknowledge him. And if you think that you don't want for a woman to use you, you are not even ready to take responsibility for a woman. Don't be in a relationship, stay single. But once you change your mindset and willing to take responsibility for your girlfriend and then future wife and children, then yes, because again, being with a woman is not cheap. And if you think that you can get for free everything, you're gonna get a really insecure, boring woman who jumped with you in bed on the first or second date. But if you want a high quality woman, you gotta provide and you gotta protect. Well, and you know what? And now you want to argue because I know I'm confronting you. But, either you learn and accept the message or you don't. Choice is yours. All right. So, my friends, let me get back to TikTok. Oh, wow. So many questions. Let me see where I stayed. Um, do you think it is man manipulation if you want to date as a friend after we had a romance? One second. Hmm. Is it manipulation if he wants to date as a friend? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that means he doesn't want to take responsibility for the intimacy. But on your place, I would say, you know what? I agree. I don't want to rush anymore. The intimacy was a mistake because I actually like to date long enough before I have sexual intimacy. If it was only one time, take it back and don't sleep with a man until you really see is he even worth for you to date with him and be with him. Because again, every time a woman sleeps with a man and it's not working out and she goes sleeps with another guy and she goes through more and more relationships, the more she feels that she's not good enough and she feels like she's a failure, and it impacts her confidence level. And that's why, ladies, don't rush, really check, is it a true man that you want to be with? Take your time. And if you see it's not working, move on. And it's okay to date even five, six, 10 guys. You go out with this, you go with second. By the way, that's what men do. And you check who is the one who is treating you better, with respect, with kindness, with dignity, who's a not okay paying for a coffee or lunch. And if he's not, bye bye. That's it. And that's how you're teaching a man to learn how to be a masculine man. And if you're sleeping with them on the second or third date, they get used to it. I call my girlfriend who lives in Florida, she lives in West Palm Beach. You know what she tells me all the time? She's like, Alisa, there's Latin women here, right and left. They say, hey, Poppy. They buy him a drink and they go sleep with him. She's like, and men now, they expect for you to buy a margarita to a woman, and he's expecting for a woman to sleep with him. Do you get how women made men are so spoiled? And now this is happening everywhere in the Western society. Of course, in Miami and West Palm Beach, it's really bad, but it's spreading like virus everywhere. And you gotta have a dignity. Why would you sleep with someone who is not willing to pay for your lunch, who is not willing to pay for your concert and a movie, and treat you with real respect and dignity? Ladies, come on, bring your confidence up, work on yourself, and become truly high value and feminine woman, so then you can attract a really masculine man. Everybody yesterday was asking me, Alisa, where do I get a man like that, provider and protector? Should I order him on Amazon? No, my friends, you, by your feminine energy, creating a provider and protector. My husband was not like that. I was building him like Lego, like you take a Lego right here and you building piece by piece. My son loves Lego. So that's the only way. And otherwise, finding a perfect man who is a leader, provider, and protector, you gotta be so feminine, like Marilyn Monroe herself, in order to attract a man like that. Otherwise, it's practically impossible. What is work is what you have, but if you see man is not willing to provide, protect while you're dating or you're in a relationship, move on. Really. Only if you're married, you already gotta accept your man and work with what you already got into, because you have kids involved, you're already married, and it's not good to go through divorce hoping that you'll find somebody else. But if you're just in a relationship, it's painful, but you gotta move on or start teaching your man how to be provider and protector. And the only way you can teach him is by being a feminine. Stop working, Stop working part time first, then start decreasing more and more hours as your wife. Because as a boyfriend, it's not his duty to provide for you. But as a husband, it is his duty to provide for you and your children. But nobody changes overnight. It takes time, 6 months, a year, maybe 2 years. But if you're learning how to be feminine, it will definitely happen. But don't divorce your husband or wife right now because of what I'm sharing. Give people chance. Work on yourself, change yourself first, and your husband or your wife will follow that. That's the only way, my friends. Okay, yes, he will mirror you. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe wait until marriage before the final connection so your life together will be blessed. That's an ideal. But in again, in a modern society, everybody's rushing and everybody sex now, chemistry, attraction. Let's figure out if our organs are doing well together. No, this last part because sex in a relationship or marriage people have less than 4%, but most of the time all of the relationship starts with that, like this is the most important aspect. It is important but the least important. You have to figure out your characters, your personalities. Does it really work? Are you fully truly attracted to him when the phase of when the honeymoon phase is gone after 3 4 months? Because first 3 months you're so attracted because people are showing only their best qualities, but afterwards when they show their negative qualities, can you be with their negative qualities? And most of the time you never get to see it until you're already fully together in the relationship, having sex, already living together, and they're like, oh my God, it's not working. But it's too late because now you're involved and now you have kids together. And so that's why do not rush, my friends. Do not rush. Yes, I misuse sometimes English. Either you accept it, Deborah, or you can leave my channel. Yes, English is not my first language, but it's not my insecurity. If it bothers you, you can leave. Thank you. I'm not going to let that bother me. I don't want my kids to grow up like him. If you don't want your kids to grow up like him, you gotta work to do everything to forgive your partner. Because if you resent your partner, if you are upset or angry with your partner, everything that you don't like about your partner, you're gonna actually see in your child. That's the nastiness of the relationships that didn't work. And that's why for you my recommendation, wake up and say I wish everyone happens, especially to your ex, so that you can fully forgive him and emotionally energetically detach from him. And then can you accept in your son everything from your ex and everything from you, because yes, half of your son is gonna be like him, and you're not going to be triggered by it, because something that we don't want, what we're scared the most or what we resist the most, you're going to attract the most. That's the way it works. Have been listening to your advice for a month and just met an amazing provider man. Congratulations, but don't rush. Don't rush. Even if he's provider, he might be showing that providing side of him a first few weeks, a few months. And then as you're gonna start sleeping with him, he's gonna cut it off. Because maybe that's again, first 3 months people are wanna show only the good side of him. Get into exclusive relationship and then you can move the relationship further. But I'm happy for you. Excited. All right, my friend paid the house and eating, but he want that I cook and do all the household. Is it fair? Um, this is a good question. Let me explain, my friends. Somebody earlier today was telling me on TikTok, I will give a girlfriend money, but only if she will be obedient. This is not an auction where $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 for a Honda Accord sold. This is like you're doing like you're in a bargain auction or something. She gives me this, I'm giving you this. Is it fair? No, my friends, you gotta stop doing this. I'm not calculating how much I cook dishes probably throughout the day 4 or 5 times a day. I cook 2, 3 times a day. I go on a TikTok and help you guys. I don't know how many thousands of people. I'm not calculating. I'm cleaning the dishes. I'm doing the laundry. I am helping 1,000 people. My friends, this is greed. This is cheap, cheap greed. Or some man is like, oh, I spent on her $1,000. When will she give me sex? This is more greed. This is nasty, my friends. Stop doing that. You know, in true relationship, people are happy when, for example, your girlfriend, when you dated her, she loved dancing, and you got married and you continue let her go dancing because it's a part of her. And a man like to go play ping pong, and you allow him to go ping pong with boys on the weekends. You do not take something that people like and you don't calculate. Well, I did this, you did this, I did this, and you do that. You gotta stop that. You gotta, when we're full, we want to contribute. When we're empty, we're calculating and we're greedy. We're calculating and we're greedy. So that's why meditation and affirmations are for you to become whole and complete with yourself, and not asking, oh, Alisa, should I do this? Oh, I did what you said and my relationship didn't work. You're responsible for it. No, my friends, you are all responsible for your life. Don't put your responsibility on girlfriend, on husband, boyfriend, mother, father, Alisa, therapist, doctors. It's on you. And the more you work on yourself, the more you become whole and complete, and you can then give. Otherwise, you're walking around empty and calculating. Stop doing that. Um, what color should we wear to enhance our femininity? Wear the colors that look good on you. But obviously, colors that are happy: white, pink, yellows, blues, but something that looks good on you. Otherwise, if you go with the fashion, yeah, on fashion, maybe it's turquoise, but turquoise doesn't look good. Why would you wear a turquoise? Wear something that looks good on you. Good morning, beautiful. Thank you. Good morning to you. Okay. Mm, don't see questions. What is it when the man wants children but don't want to marry? Oh, problem. 1 second. By the way, I was planning to record a video tomorrow, but I'll share it now. If a man doesn't want to marry, if a man doesn't want to have kids, next, honestly. If a man doesn't want to get married, that means he doesn't want to take responsibility for you, and has full fears that, oh, you will walk away from him, you will take 50% from him. And by the way, a true provider and protector is not afraid of a law system, legal system, how most of the men in the Western society in the United States say, well, but if divorce happens, she takes away 50%. Wonderful. If she takes away 50%, that means she can do the best job raising your children. And if you're not giving 50% to her, she will be working like horse, and she'll be putting all of the stresses on your children. And therefore, only feminine man thinks like that. And if he doesn't want to get married, and if he doesn't want to have children, next. This is a feminine man. A big red flags over signs of a feminine man. There's a channel called Manas for something like that. I forgot the name of this channel. Thousands of men sit and complain how modern women are terrible. They are gold diggers. And the more they sit, the more they just hate women. Instead of going to work, learning how to provide, protect, conquering themselves, and not being scared of women. Who will sit on the channel, on the YouTube channel, and listening how women are horrible, how women are terrible all day? And you got to take this pill, you woke up, and now you understand that all women are gold diggers, all women are stupid, and all women just want to use you for money. This is the next level of degradation. And so if man goes and listens to this channel, that should be a red flag for you, because a true masculine man goes to work. He learns how to provide and protect his wife and his family. And he has no time to listen to this stupid brainwashing channels, honestly. So I hope that answers your question. How do you be feminine? My friend, obviously you're here for the first time because most of my videos is how to be feminine. You gotta get on TikTok, stop watching my channels on YouTube or on TikTok, and you will learn how to be feminine. As coming from a man's woman, if a man will wait to sleep with you, he is a true opportunity. Absolutely. If a man is waiting to sleep with you, that means he truly loves you. He is investing time, energy, and money. And if a man is not willing to wait, that means he is not even serious about you. He just wants to enjoy your body, have sex with you, and then he will dump you. Yeah, when he'll meet someone prettier or he'll get bored with you and he's gone. And that's why a man falls in love with a woman not through sex. The more he waits to have sex with you, he starts not just liking you sexually and physically, he starts respecting you. And then after 3 months, he's starting to get to know you, who are truly you, not just your physicalness. And that's when man starts to fall in love. And so you're not even giving him the opportunity to fall in love with you if you sleep with a man in the first week or months. You gotta wait to become in exclusive relationship to sleep with a man. And I hope you guys hear me. All right. You see, most of the masculine women are asking me the same question, and I'll answer it the last time, which is, how can I find a provider real man? A feminine woman doesn't look for a man. Only masculine women goes to bars, they go somewhere to look for him. A feminine woman, she meditates or does the affirmations or prayer. She's feminine, she's in a community with girlfriends in church or in temple or mosque or synagogue, or helps homeless people or helps homeless dogs. She's out there in the community. She's so happy and her life is so full. She doesn't have time to look for a man. And when she's feminine and she's happy and she's serving community, a masculine man sees her, he finds her. How you even think is masculine. It's analytical. You will never find a masculine man who is a provider. You cannot purchase him on Amazon. You just gotta work on yourself and being a feminine. When you're gonna stop looking and when you're gonna do enough good to the community, God does the service for you. He sends him to you, and a man sees you, and that's how a woman attracts a masculine man. She doesn't go and search for him. So I hope you ladies can hear me, even though I'm answering this already 20 or 30 times. All right. Don't see any questions, just comments, comments, comments. So, can you give examples on the ways that men should lead? Oh, very good question. For example, a woman says, you're living in a relationship in apartment, and you say to your husband, I want us to buy a house in this area. And the man tells you, hold on, it's my responsibility. I heard that you want a house there. I'm going to be working on it. And how he leads is he makes money, he listens to a woman, and now he saves money in order to buy a house. But where and how he'll buy a house, he leads. He's leads financially. He makes decisions. If a woman wants to go, for example, to an expensive vacation to Europe for 2 weeks, he says, slow down. It will happen, but maybe in a year. And it's not going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be it's going to be for a week. A man makes decisions, financial decisions, big decisions, and he calms a woman down because a woman wants everything right now, yesterday. And he calms her down and he says, yes, yes, it will happen. So in a way, he's like a core. He leads his family, his wife, where it's heading. Because a woman is very irrational, very emotional. If she works, she wants to invest in a nice furniture. She buys it. She wants to spend it all on clothes and vacations. And woman is like that. And that's why women shouldn't be working, because all of her money goes on this superficial material things. A man should make a decision where and how money is spent. He leads. He leads. If that makes sense. Really good question. I hate to cook and clean. I do it anyways. I love to work on my art and sell. What can I do in a relationship? Oh, by the way, there was a really good question you reminded me. One woman asked me, Alisa, why am I happy to work, make money, and stay single? And I love being in my masculine energy. And you're reminding me of her now. Uh, the reason why women nowadays love to work and they love being in a masculine energy and make their own money and being independent is because they're out of tune there with their femininity. Um, in Ayurveda, it explains as, again, a woman who is underdeveloped, who is out of tune with her feminine energy. And in Vedic knowledge, people are saying the way things are. In American Western society, we like to cover up things and say it nicely. But how in Ayurveda says it's a degraded woman. When a woman is overworked and she starts becoming independent and masculine and making decisions, she feels like she doesn't need to put up with a man. She doesn't need to work on her femininity. She doesn't need to compromise. And it's easier. It's easier for a masculine woman. But at the same time, she will never fully experience happiness in a relationship. She will be happy on a superficial level of a job, of buying her things and being independent. But will she ever feel happiness as a woman in her femininity and in a relationship? Not at all. And so when you say, I don't like to cook, I don't like to clean, cooking, cleaning, it's a being of service to your family. It's all feminine energy. And working, it's all masculine energy. Right now, I am working. Even though it's a contribution, it's work. After that, it's probably going to take me 2 3 hours to recuperate from you, because for me, being in a masculine energy is exhausting. It's truly exhausting. Seeing your comments, 99% of the comments are very argumentative, very righteous. People are not really open to learn. People are not really willing to listen. People are wanted to prove their point. So being with you, friends, on YouTube and TikTok, it's very exhausting for me. But I get the energy of doing it from meditation and prayer. Otherwise, there's no way possible I could do this, because it's very, very tiring. But to cook and clean, it's 100% feminine energy. It's your of service to your boyfriend or to your husband and to your kids. And when I'm actually cooking, I'm reading the mantra, meaning in my mind, I'm saying the mantra. So this food becomes almost like holy. And I'm cooking for God Himself. And then I'm serving a family. But again, if you lack femininity, of course, it's going to be easier for you to go work and make money. And by the way, most of the women are in denial and trying to prove to me and whole world that they can be feminine while working. It's impossible right now. Again, it's a contribution, but it's work. Can I be in my feminine? No, it's impossible, because I am answering questions, I am thinking, I am producing results. All of that is a masculine energy. And for a feminine woman, it's exhausting. I can honestly do it for an hour, maybe hour and a half at the most, but no more than that. So I hope you understand. And by the way, I have 10 minutes and then I have to pick up our son from school. So I just want to acknowledge the time. Let's see if you have more questions. Where are you working when you met your husband? I was a therapist for 19 years and I met him through mutual friends. I actually knew my husband for 3 years through mutual friends. We were just always on a different side of the table. Our circle of friends were of 30 or 40. Girls would be here, guys would be there, who would be chatting, and he would be on the other opposite side. But at some point we met and we started talking. So that's how I met my husband. Okay, let's see. Why is that the guys in their 30s saying they don't want a relationship or marriage? Ah, because a guys in their 30s, in this economy right now, if previously maybe in their 30s they were already accomplished financially. Now they're still trying to climb and make more. And so they're in the process of succeeding, making bonuses, climbing the corporate ladder, and they don't have a mindset where they want to get married. That's number one. Number two, again, in the Western society right now, a lot of men um, losing the value. Why do they even get married? Why do they need to get married? Because men think, well, I'm gonna make money, I can get a woman, I can take her to bar, take her to restaurant, and she'll sleep with me. Why do I need to take responsibility? Because for those of you who watched my spiritual lecture, last lecture, I explained being a wife, it's askeza. Being a husband, it's a most difficult askeza. What is askeza? For example, when you're fasting, you're not eating anything, you're just drinking water, you're connecting and having a deeper relationship with God. That's askeza. Same thing. When a woman serves a husband and family and she sacrifices what she really wants, for example, for me, to let go of my career as a therapist was a big sacrifice. But at the same time, I understand the value of it, that it's important for me as a woman. It's important for our son. It's important for my husband so he can succeed as a man. And I let go of that's a sacrifice. And same thing for a man. For a man to take responsibility of a woman and then the family, it's the most difficult job to do. And most men now, they're raised by feminists. What, feminists taught them how to be a man? No. And so most of the men don't want to take responsibility. You see men who wants to take responsibility still in Africa, Latin America, India. But in United States, women are masculine. For them, it's career and independence and success, number one. And for men, is to sleep around with beautiful women is number one, and have fun playing video games or gambling or doing the porn. And so this is how our society in the Western society is degraded. So that's why, yeah, it's hard to find a man with a really good mental healthy state that he wants to provide and protect. And of course, a man like that will be taken very fast, but not even taken. He will find a feminine woman really fast and he will get committed fast. How to make men in their 30s serious about marriage and not just them focus on their career. I answered just question in a different way, right? But it's the same question. So as she said, I don't want to let it go. I want rather to work on myself and strengthen. Okay, I don't see a question. Do you believe husband and wife should equally divide task responsibilities at home? Again, do you remember the greed? You do this and you do that. Friends, stop calculating. For example, in a relationship where a woman is feminine and a man is masculine, um, you don't calculate. For example, I know it's my duty to clean dishes, to cook, to do laundry, to drive, for example, our son to school because my husband works in a different direction. That's why otherwise he would have driving him. Um, Doing the shopping, husbands sometimes do, sometimes I do, but we don't calculate. For example, changing the oil or taking the car to service, of course he does. Fixing around the house, of course he does. Cutting the grass, of course he does. Fixing the TV if it ever breaks, it's his job. So there's no calculation. It's just, for example, one time years ago, my husband, I bought the curtains and he said, Alisa, I'm not sure if these curtains are the right color for our office. And I said, honey, I don't tell you how to change the oil, do I? He says, no. I said, don't go into my territory. And so I joked around. A woman has her duties and responsibilities, and you don't allow men to get on your territory. Designing, cooking, cleaning, it's all your duties. And a man, you don't get into his thing and say, well, you got to fix the shelf this way, or you got to fix the car that way. Everybody has their duties, and it becomes very clear as you shift the feminine energy. Good question. Um, all right, friends, do you see somebody's asking me the same question? What to do about men being responsible and not wanting to do their careers in their 30s? This is greed. Don't ask me the same question 20 times. You're taking away time from other people asking questions. Don't do that, okay? It's not right on every level. How to deal with a provider husband downgrading life and having money issues. Stay at home mom. How to deal with a provider husband downgrading life and having money issue. Uh-huh. I see. I think I got it right because again, please remember that English is my second language. Sometimes I don't understand 100%. So just want to acknowledge that. Um, to be honest with you, right now in the past few weeks, economy is not good in my husband's field, and he is also stressed out. When he's stressed, I feel it. And so we, by the way, which for women gonna be so hard to get this concept, but I hope you can understand it on a much deeper level. We as a women, we're responsible even for our men's success. And for example, if a man struggles financially, it's our duty to continue doing even more spiritual practices, doing more meditation or more prayer, and not asking God, can you send us more money? God, could you please protect our family? We gotta acknowledge God for everything, the good and the bad and the ugly that is happening. We just gotta acknowledge and only ask for forgiveness, what we've been doing wrong, and not ask for material things. But the more we're seeking God, the more we're doing spiritual practices, the sooner or later, all of this financial stresses you will overcome. Because typically, during financial crisis or difficulties, a family, if a woman does spiritual practices, get closer on emotional and spiritual level. But when otherwise money is a big distraction. When everything is good, family don't even pay close attention. When but the family goes through trouble, that's when a woman starts seeking God even more in order to get closer to husband, not on the physical level, on the emotional spiritual level. That's how she helps him. So if you truly want to help him, that's the only way to help, and not go to work and help him physically. Here's money to pay bills. This is you're sending a message to him: I don't trust you as a leader. And that's what, by the way, most women do. And that's not a help. That's actually a curse to a man. And that's why, when again, a masculine women think they can raise a masculine sons by doing everything by themselves, it's a big disservice because they're not teaching sons how to become a man and how to become a man by giving them example, staying through good and bad times through with excess, and not rushing through divorce or breakup, or at least then having a brother or uncle or grandfather figure who can show them how to be a man. That's a really good question. So, last question, my friends, and I have to run. My husband asked me to wake up at 5 a.m. along with him to make him his lunch, and I don't know how to feel about that. If a husband demands that, he doesn't really value you. That means this is your job to wake up and do lunch to me. Sometimes, um, I remember there was first year of our marriage when my husband would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. Maybe once or twice a week I would wake up because I wanted it to make a lunch for him to go to work. But he never required that. He didn't ask of me. If a woman wants that, she can do it. But something when a man asks, you gotta give me lunch or you gotta have sex with me, the moment somebody, a woman or a man, demands something, it turns and pushes off. So, how you feel about it? Of course, you don't like it. And with a man like that, can you explain to him? Yes, you can. Will he get you? Most likely not. And that's why for you, if you're gonna start doing the spiritual practices, you're gonna start having compassion. Why he's like that? He didn't get obviously enough love from his mom, and now he wants to punish you and demand love from you. And this is the form of love that he wants to receive from you. Is it right? No, it's not right. But you attracted a man like that, you chose a man like that, and you're living with a man like that. And if it's your husband, you gotta surrender and accept him. And if he's your boyfriend, I say run. Yeah. But he's your husband, gotta accept. All right, my friends. So if I'll have more energy tonight, if I'm, even though I doubt it, but if I will, I'll come back and answer more of your questions, probably for 45 minutes or an hour between 5 and 6, but I don't promise. It just all depends. But now I gotta run and pick up our son from school. But I want to thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for your authenticity, your vulnerability, your authentic questions. Thank you for growing, learning, and all of your comments on my TikTok channel. I appreciate you. Thank you. And with that said, I want to say bye from Atlanta to wherever you are. I know some of you are all over the world, and I'm so thrilled to have you, to be with you. And again, hopefully, maybe I will see you later tonight, and if not, definitely next week. So get your questions ready. Namaste, my friends. Bye. I love you guys. And by the way, this streaming will be on YouTube. So whoever missed or showed up later, it's going to be all 1 hour and 9 minutes on YouTube under Alisa Abdullaeva. So you can go back and look at it and see all of my questions and answers. Bye, friends. Oh, bye, Norway. Good to see you guys. See you later, hopefully tonight. Bye, friends from YouTube.